Welcome back to the Crow's Nest. I'm Corvus Infinite, but you can call me Corvid. So, elephant in this room. It has been a whole year since I posted on this channel. Oops. Not really what I meant to do. That's not really wasn't supposed to happen. There's a whole combination of like shit that happened. I should have posted a channel announcement a few days before this video goes up, like a community post. If I didn't, shame on me. But in that, I think I went into a little bit of detail about what happened. I'm gonna go into a little more detail now. If you are not interested in who I am or any of that, if you're just showing up and this is your first time seeing me, hi, hello. Sorry that your first impression of me is whatever this is. But I'll put a timestamp where you can skip to the actual album reaction. That's all you're here for. It's totally valid. Be like that. TLDR, right? Life got really busy. That's only part of it. Hear me out. Life got really busy. I had a lot of IRL stress. Work has been a nightmare for the last year or so. Very stressful. That has affected my mental health in some ways. Glad to say that that is under a lot better control now. And then I also kind of honestly freaked out because I was having all of this going on and the channel was just doing really well, really fast. And I was not prepared for that. And with everything else going on, I kind of self-sabotaged a little bit and just like jumped ship. I was like, this is too good. Obviously there's a catch. Yeah, didn't like that was stupid. I should have just kept going, but I didn't. I did, however, have in the back of my mind the idea that I would like to come back to the channel and finish, like, keep reacting to ATEEZ and do more reactions to other artists. So like, I have avoided ATEEZ spoilers for anything I haven't already listened to, like the plague, for the past year, which is quite difficult when I am in circles of people who listen to K-pop. Now, to be fair, most of my friends are ARMY and various other groups, but I do have some H&E friends, and I've been avoiding. If you are confused or concerned about why I sound about an octave deeper, in the What's New With Me category, we have started testosterone, so that's fun. If you're new here, I'm transgender, he, him pronouns, please and thank you. If you're not new here, I sound different, so you might as well be. Yay. But I keep glancing over here because I have like notes to keep my ADHD ass on track for this intro segment. Is it working? Only God knows. But I'm back. Part of that is making plans and scheduling. One thing I realized very quickly was going to be a problem last year when I first started doing this channel was that I was just kind of filming when I felt like it, uploading when I felt like it, doing whatever. And like, for some people, maybe that works. For some people, maybe that is just the vibe and that is how it's gonna go. I have too many issues to do that successfully. So I now have a color-coded, very full calendar with plans for what videos I'm filming when and what is going on when. I'm in the process of compiling playlists and documents for like everything that I'm gonna need. Yeah, if I'm doing this, I'm doing this right. Part of that is today's video, which I'm going to be picking up where I left off, which is with Treasure episode 2, 0 to 1 mini album. If you have not seen my reaction to the first Treasure mini album, that is on this channel, as well as my initial reaction to several music videos and kind of PowerPoint guide to the members that a friend did for me. And then I also did a reaction to a longer ATEEZ guide. Okay? These are all on this channel already. Feel free to go watch them. This video, if you are unfamiliar with my system, I do what I refer to as the unhinged discography deep dive. Okay? I go chronologically. ATEEZ is the first artist that I'm doing this with. There will be more in the future, but we have a long way to go, especially since I hear your boys are doing a comeback. I'm gonna have to figure out whether I'm gonna break chronological reactions to react to that when it drops or not. We'll see. But if you're unfamiliar with this system, here's a quick breakdown of how I'm gonna be reacting to things, okay? This video is just the album. Audio only, no videos, okay? And I know you want music videos and dance practices and live performances, and I promise they're coming, okay? The first listen to every album that I do, I listen more than once, part of the unhinged part. The first listen will be on camera, okay? If I like the album, it gets 2 more listens. First listen is just for vibes. We are vibing, we are listening. Do I like this? Do I not? How does it feel? What's the energy? If I like it, it gets listened number 2 and 3. Number 2, I'm focusing on vocals, I'm focusing on lyrics. And what is the meaning, what is the content, and vocal performance. This listen ends up being the one I have the most to say on usually because I'm a singer. So I have a lot to say about that. Listen number 3, I'm listening for production, instrumentation, how it's mixed, like those elements, right? Those listens I do not film, but I do take notes. These are my notes from the first Treasure mini album. I take notes and then I come and I sit down here and I film and I talk about my notes. I talk about the analysis. That's going to be the second part of this video. However, as soon as I finish the first listen, I do immediately go into filming music videos, dance practices, and live performances. Or that's what I'm going to do today. So that is coming. It will not be in this video, but it will be in the next video that I post on Monday. Cool? Cool. Trying to think if there's anything that I've missed. I really made these carefully prepared notes to keep myself on track, and I think I failed, but you know, fuck it, we ball. I'm gonna go ahead and get set up to listen to this album. Okay, it's time. I am so nervous. Not because I think it's gonna be bad or anything, but because I haven't done a reaction like this in like a year. Also, if you see me like tilting my head or rubbing my neck hurts. So.
아직도 하루에도 수백번 더 큰 틈만 마인드 발자국 사막의 한복판 조금만 낮은 발 굴러서 만들어 모래바람이 저 끝에도 닿을 때까지 Deep in my heart, deep in my soul 피어나는 flashing light Deep down my heart, deep down my soul 꺼지지 않는 불씨처럼 fire yeah 좀 더 뜨겁게 멈출 수가 없게 Hold up 터져버릴 것 같아 가자 hurry up now Surprise more than getting bugs So size 더더 혁신파
I really, really like that intro verse. I like it a lot. I'm gonna back it up a bit. Martin here.
발자국 사막의 한복판 조금만 낮은 발 굴러서 만들어 모래바람이 저 끝에도 닿을 때까지 Deep in my heart, deep in my soul 피어나는
Those vocals pop off.
Deep down my heart, deep down my soul 꺼지지 않는 불씨처럼 fire yeah 좀 더 뜨겁게 멈출 수가 없게 Hold up 터져버릴 것 같아 가자 hurry up now Surprise more than getting bugs So size 더더 혁신파
Ass shaking music.
Let's get burning now
Ooh. Tempo change. Okay. Where we going? The, like drop out is so nice. Nice. Snare. Ooh, bass line. Okay. I love the edge on his voice there. Like, oh, so good. They're doing some really cool things with the instrumentation changes up. Like every time a new voice comes in, it feels like the instrumentation switches up to match. And it's done in just a really cool way to kind of highlight each member. Like, I'll go back and talk about what I mean. Like, I think from here. This is just like, you know, production, right? New section. Piano bled and voice and snare. And now we've got this funky bass line and this like bouncy like snare hi-hat thing. Such a good rock tone. Ugh. Nice. This is like the post-chorus. Got it. Oh. Twinkly little. Nice. Ooh. This goes so hard live, I just know it. Like at a concert, like I know this is going hard. I feel like, how do I put this? Okay. I feel like Holla Holla is like your hype up track, right? Like it's first on the album because it's like they hyping you up, drawing you in. Yeah, I really like the vibes on that. The actual sound of it is solid. The voices, they all sound great. Yeah, I think like what I said about concerts and live performances, it's really gonna shine there, for sure. Spanish guitar, okay, sure. And the flute's back.
Coming to ya, I won't give up. Everybody say yeah. 조금 더 크게 say my name. 그게 잠든 난 눈 뜨게 해워. 한 번 더 크게 say my name. 네가 내 이름을 불러주면 어느새 먼 곳을 향해 더 fly high. 막아서지 마라 give it up. 지난 나는 이제 burning up now. We don't want no trouble. Just moving forward. 잠깐만 달려 그 안에 불꽃을 향해서 또다시 달려. 모두 여기로 높은 곳으로 함께라면
You got sirens? Where you going? Shanty vibes. Yes. Yeah, perfect. That key change is wild. Like into the chorus, the key changed. They love a beat switch. 더 이상은 better than better 고개 들어 get her 또한 그 문보와 배를 타 걸어와 내게로 get her 부르고 불러줘 날 내 이름은 검색이 나와 그렇게 바라던 name tag 따라고 곁에가 네 친구들도 모아 야 애워싸 두르고 지켜봐요 이름 딱 내 글자 여기다 야 티나게 남겨놔 스미네 cause I'm the captain 모두 여기로 높은 곳으로 함께라면 no down 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 손을 들어라 소리 질러라 터질 듯한 시작을 위해 저기 저 달빛이 보를 때 This definitely also goes hard live. There's some just really interesting, like, how do I even describe this? It's like synth heavy. Like, obviously they're taking the sea shanty inspiration, right? Like, we all, it's pirates. We all know that they're taking inspiration from sea shanties on that structure. But the, like, synth horns and the way that it's, like, I don't know, it's like tropical house meets rock meets pop meets sea shanty, which is not a genre combination I don't think any of us ever really considered experiencing, but I'm here for it. Like, I would have never asked for this, but I'm so glad that I have it, is how I'll put this. 더 이상은 better than better 고개 들어 get her 또한 그 문보와 배를 타 걸어와 내게로 get her 부르고 불러줘 날 내 이름은 검색이 나와 I love the double time feel on this verse, by the way. 야 애워싸 두르고 지켜봐요 이름 딱 내 글자 여기다 야 티나게 남겨놔 스미네 cause I'm the captain 모두 여기로 높은 곳으로 That siren in the back is so interesting. He has such a good, like, edge in his tone there. This part especially is very chanty, right? And these synth horns are, you know, and this like minor key, like strange, but in a good way. Not strange, I just wouldn't have expected that key change. Ooh. Love a slow down bridge. Nice. Ooh, love those harmonies. Nice. 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 Very excited to see the MV for that. Wait, hold on. Yeah, that's another one. I feel like this is the thing that I've seen. This is the same thing that I said on the last album, is like the title track needs to be seen as well to like get the full experience. Next up we have Desire. So, see what this is about. Oh. Okay, lo-fi. Where are we going? Ooh, nice. Okay, so it's like, so first of all, I was not sure where that first part was going. It's like the vocal tone is very like R&B, jazz, that kind of wheelhouse, you know, slow and sexy. But the background is like, obviously, like very synth heavy, like bouncier, and it's got this kind of whooshing like push in the background. And I think they did it really nicely where when it comes into that chorus, or what I think is the chorus, all of that background noise kind of drops out, and it's like everything focuses in on whatever it is they're saying in that chorus. That's really interesting. Check it out. It's like, yeah. Love that.
널 향한 욕망은 so selfish. Oh yeah. 그곳으로 난 가고 있어. 'Cause you're there. 'Cause you're there. My heart beating so fast. Heart beating so fast.
Nice.
터질 듯이 now, 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 now. Can't stop nobody else. Can nobody
Nice.
else. 갖고 싶어. No, no.
So before we get into this next verse, that like, you know, talking about heartbeats, you know, like the pulse of that beat. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. There's some interesting stuff going on in the back with this like, kind of like, it almost sounds like a voice through a megaphone. Or I'm not sure exactly what it is, or maybe like over a speaker. I don't think there's a music video for this. Cause like, you know, sometimes you see in a like album version of a song something that like, oh, you know, that makes sense connected to the video. Why that in particular is that. That one I don't think there's a video for. It's just an interesting element. It's not a huge thing, it's just a little.
널 향한 욕망은 so selfish. Oh yeah. 그곳으로 난 가고 있어. 'Cause you're there. 'Cause you're there. My heart beating so fast. Heart beating so fast. 터질 듯이 now, now,
It's like a whoosh, yeah.
can't stop nobody else. Can nobody else.
Yeah.
갖고 싶어.
Interesting. Nice. Dreamy, just twinkly. Yeah. Nice. The time signature change there?
너는 마치 꿈속의 treasure. 그저 생각만 해도 떨리는 걸. Oh no. Oh 난 아른아른한 기억을 하나 모았어. 지금까지 얘기했던 시간 모두 난 다 잊었어. Oh I just cannot be myself yeah. 널 향한 욕망은 so selfish. Oh yeah. 그곳으로 난 가고 있어. 'Cause you're there. 'Cause you're there. My heart beating so fast. Heart beating
It's like a push-pull.
터질 듯이 now, 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 now. Can't stop nobody else. Can nobody
I'd be curious to see what the choreo for this is, if there is any.
보이는 만큼 꿈을 꾸며내 뻗은 만큼 잡아지면 내 맘만 켜내 키우는 새빨간 불꽃이 꽃 피워 터지고 말까 내 두 눈에 가득 desire 내 마음에 가득 desire 이 떨림의 끝은 누구도 예측할 수 없기에 I love my desire.
Nice. Oh, he's about to pop off, huh?
I love my desire. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Come on, give me vocals. Nice. Nice. Trilled in the back. Oh, they were just having fun with these ad-libs, huh? Oh, that one's fun. That one's really fun. I imagine, like, that'll be really fun to listen to in the car. I don't know why, but, like, it's just... That feels like it's gonna be a good driving song. Another one I'm excited to see live. Like, I think that's all of theirs. I just want to see what it looks like live. But, yeah, really, really like that one. Fight is next. Let's see what that's about. Lo-fi vibes again. A lot softer. This is cute already. Love that tone. Oh, this one's just vibes. Ooh. Yes. That's so pretty. We're building. Where are we going? Ooh, okay. Still just laid back. Pretty. This is like the only movement I can do. Ooh. I love this. The like, is that ocean noise? Ooh, fuck it up, falsetto. That one, okay. So I'm not looking at lyrics this first listen. That is so cute. I don't even know what that song's about necessarily, right? I got like some of the English lyrics, you know, as they were happening. But that feels just like the cutest little love song. Like, maybe I'm wrong, maybe that's not what it's about, but it just feels like the sweetest, like that song has to have just the sweetest lyrics. You know, you ever hear a song and you're like, if they're not saying some sappy shit, I will eat my shirt. Like, they can't not be. But it's a swaying song, it's a vibey song, it's a throw it on in the background and dance around your kitchen while the sunlight shines in, it's golden hour, you're chilling. Like, vibes, right? Like, we're vibing. Really, really like that one. Really like that. Promise is the last one.
두려워한다는 거 나도 알아 우린 석양이 지나가고 밤의 시작 밤은 낮과 달리 어두워 지금 해가 지면 우린 더 안 추위
Okay, throwing ass again. But I think emotionally, yeah, we're earnestly throwing ass. Yeah. With a break for feelings. Ooh. Love that. I was not expecting. Okay, so it started out and I was like, okay, we're throwing ass, but like it sounds like they've got shit to say. And then we got that like more emotive, you know, softer section. I was expecting it to go back into the same kind of thing it was at the beginning, but the tone of that second shift was like, it's like booming kind of sound. Was not expecting that, but it sounded so good. I'm assuming this is a fan song. Yeah, I was not expecting this. Yeah, this is another one that's crazy live at concerts. Syncopation is so interesting. Bouncing. And now we're emotional. Love that. Yeah. Where are we going? Nice. Fuck it up, Jongo. Yeah. Yeah. This is just fun. Awesome. I really like that as the closer on this. It's really solid. Started with hyping us into it with Hala Hala and closing on Promise, just like, it feels jubilant, you know? It feels like a celebration. It feels like we're having a party. I don't know what we're celebrating. I don't know what the party's about, but I'm here and I'm having a good time. And that's all that matters, right? Okay, so that was listen number 1. From here, I'm gonna go ahead and take some time. Well, immediately following this, I'm gonna go film my reaction to music videos, live performances, dance practices, all that jazz. But that'll be the video after this. Please be patient. Tomorrow, though, I'm going to re-listen to this album a couple times, notes, and then come back on camera and tell you what my thoughts are. So, for you, it'll be just a second. For me, it'll be tomorrow. Okay, so I am back. It is the day after I first listened to this album, and I have listened 2 more times and taken some notes. Kind of a lot of notes. Gonna go over these in a second, but I just have to say, really enjoyed this. Very excited to get into some analysis of this album. I did also react to the music videos, dance practices, and live performances for this album yesterday, alongside my first listen. So the footage of that will be up on Monday. I'm looking forward to that. So for the first track, Holla Holla, my first reaction to this, I said it was super vibey. That sets the tone for the album. It's a great hype up kind of intro track. And I stand by all of that. On my second listen, where I'm focusing more on vocals and lyrics, I wrote down that I really love the use of different vocal tones to separate out different meanings in the song. What I mean by that is just like, this is not a unique thing that they've done here. This is very common, but just kind of, I love it when you get kind of different intensities of vocal and like different vocal tones in different sections. So Yeosang's part here is a really good example.
Raise me up, take me up, 매일 조금 더. Raise me up, take me up, 먼 곳으로.
So like that tone is so different from everything around it, right? Like on either side of that section, that it really kind of emphasizes that message, right? It's like just really gentle and earnest sounding voice, which compared to how intense the chorus is, obviously pretty different. Jungho has such a fantastic rock edge to his voice when he wants it, especially when he gets up into like these crazy belts that he does. Lyrically, yeah, we've got a solid hype track, right? Like the whole song is just hype up, hype up, hype up. We're here, we're getting into it, right? And it does what it needs to do lyrically. As far as the production, I thought there were some really interesting elements tying to the acronym Hearts Awaken Live Alive. Because the production starts out super, super dreamy at the very beginning. And then going through Hongjoong's verse, there's this like pulsing, like pounding bass through the mix. And there's these sound effects in the back. There's like glass breaking and other things like that that are used throughout the track. But it's an interesting kind of separation, right? You've got this kind of dreamy thing going on, and then glass breaking, something's happening, then a waking up, right? And then you've got those more intense sections. The chorus kind of feels like it drops back into some of that dreamier production, but obviously super, super intense. So it almost feels like it's like with a purpose, right? So we're going back into that dreamy place, but like fighting mad about it in a way. That section I mentioned earlier where Yeosang is singing sounds so stripped back with just the piano or I think that's synth keyboard, but with just that and the drums, still super dreamy. And that section also ends with that glass breaking sound effect that I mentioned going into Mingi's verse. it's like back in the mix, but it's there. They use that glass breaking sound effect. So it's an interesting thing, right? We're coming out of that dreamy place into this more intense kind of fighting. And also, why is the bass line in that section with Mingi so funky? That is, oh my god, it's so good. Yeah, the distortion throughout the song feels super intentionally used as well. I like the production. You can tell that there's a lot of effort put into kind of production as a part of the storytelling of songwriting, you know? So that's really cool to see. Moving on to Say My Name. It's just a really fun title track. That's, on my first listen, I was just really into the kind of genre fusion combined elements that you wouldn't necessarily think of, you know. On my second listen, I talked a lot about the group vocals on the pre-chorus. Felt like just the vocals overall were super solid. There's some really great harmonies in the bridge. Jongho popped off as usual. I said here that I get the feeling that Mingi can really sing if given the chance. Like, I've heard him sing some. He sings some on Light. But I feel like if we got like a solo track, like, I don't know if that exists. That might exist, and I just don't know about it because, like, I just got here. But either way, I feel like there's a hidden vocalist in that man. Or maybe not hidden. Maybe I just don't know. But still, that's not to say, again, that he, like, hasn't done that, because I have heard him sing some. It's just, like, I always feel like rappers get put into a box of, like, no, they just rap, which, like, there's no just about it. That's a whole skill. But them sing too. I always feel like this in every group. I'm like, no, let the rappers sing too. Talking about the lyrics, yeah, the lyrics are super fun. The vibes are just kind of like, you know, we're here, we've been here, we'll be here. You know, like, that's the energy. We're not going anywhere. Which is a vibe. On my third listen, I did start off by writing in all caps, "Synth flute, my beloved, you've returned to me." Because I really, if you've seen my reaction to the first Treasure mini album, I really love the synth flute that they used. I just love it when they throw a weird little shanty flute in there. It's a vibe, okay? I like it. And so this one is very much throwing back to the last one and Pirate King especially. This also feels like very much like a rallying cry kind of song, right? Like, you've got these group vocals, you've got this kind of like siren noise in the background that happens, like it's like, you know, call to action kind of thing, right? Super bouncy sounding too. Like, it's just like it's vibey. I wrote down, do you ever hear a song and go, oh, this would eat in a rhythm game? Because I do. And that's, yeah, like, it's, I don't know, it just feels like it really hit in a rhythm game. I also made a note that I really love the effects they used on Mingi's vocals at the end. Those were really cool. But otherwise, yeah. Moving on to Desire. This is this is my favorite track. This one's got me. As far as just like sonically, this is my favorite. Love the instrumentation. Love the vocal tones. They took like a jazz vocal approach to parts of it, like jazz R&B vocal. And I love that. There's this really interesting thing happening where the beat is for the most part straight, right? But the vocals are like behind the beat a little bit, which, like, if you don't know what I'm talking about, so like the beat is for the most part like 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Like it's a straight beat. A swung beat is like usually in a like, instead of all of the counts being like on the beat, it'll be like on a half beat. Dun 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 dun. So that's more of a swung rhythm. And so the beat for this is straight, but the way that the vocals are played off, they're a little bit behind the beat. And it gives it a kind of swung feel in places. And it's really nice. It's really well done. And that's also something that's done in jazz a lot, is singing just a little bit behind the beat. Like, it's not like, yeah, it's really well done. Juno's head voice on the pre-chorus is so pretty. Hold on, let me just find this, because it's so pretty. That is so pretty. That is such a nice connected head voice. He sounds delightful. That is lovely. Love that. Lyrically, this one really I like. There's an interesting thing where we're talking about this like selfish desire, right? We're talking about like this concept of wanting something so badly that it takes over you, that it like pushes you to places that you haven't been. And the way that the production and lyrics work together to convey that message is like super good. Again, I really get the vibe that they consider the storytelling of songwriting a lot. Like, they think a lot about what story their songs are telling and incorporate the production into that. Speaking of the production though, there's this like lo-fi kind of vibe in the intro that I wasn't expecting. But then like these jazzy vocals, like there's some really interesting combined elements here. And I feel like I say that about every ATEEZ song that I talk about the production. There's interesting elements that I wouldn't necessarily think to combine. But it is a compliment. Like, it's done really well. Oh, the production at the end, like talking about the message and the change in production at the end with this switch up. Here. So like this, you've got this booming background music with all of this reverb that is crazy. Like, it really does feel like this concept of like it's taken over, right? And I really love the way that like kind of works together to give that meaning. Love that. Very good. That's my favorite track on the album. Moving on to Light. So my first thoughts on this were just that it was super sweet sounding. Like, super sweet, super cute. It seemed like maybe a love song. I was curious whether that was the case. And then when I went into it, I was like, yeah, there's a really... They took a different kind of tone vocally with this one. Like, it's like, there's this tenderness to it, right? Because again, yeah, it's cute. It's a love song. It's like this gentle kind of tone. The ad-libs and backing harmonies are fantastic. There's just, it's super, super lush. There's like a ton of vocal layering. And it's so well mixed that you wouldn't if you're not thinking about it, maybe you wouldn't notice how many vocal layers are in there, but there's a lot. Like, if you really sit down and listen, not to whoever is singing the lead vocal on top, okay? Listen to some of the vocals underneath that, especially towards the end of the song. Let me see if I can find a section that is a good example of this. Yeah. So you've got your lead vocal going, you've got ad-lib vocals going, you've also got at least 2 layers of harmony vocals underneath, padding it out. So like, it sounds just super lush and full, without sounding like too big, right? Because this song is a little bit like more stripped back in a way. Like, it doesn't have as many like electronic elements, it doesn't have as much kind of heavier synth or anything like that. It's not like, you know, like it's a slower, more laid back kind of energy, but those vocal layers really do make it feel super full and kind of meaningful. You know, it's kind of resonant in a way. The lyrics are just super, super sweet. I really liked the lyrics to this one. Production-wise, I mean, this song is just lovely. Like, it's just really well produced, kind of R&B, lo-fi vibes. I could also, so like, I know that there are some more electronic elements in this, but I could really, really see like a live acoustic band version of this just eating down, like, oh, like just them and like acoustic guitar, piano, and a drum kit, you know? Like, that would be so good for this song. If that exists, like, someone tell me if there's a band version. If there's not, you can have the idea for free. Okay? If anyone with any power to make that happen sees this, you can have the idea for free. Okay? Thanks. Moving on to Promise. Okay? Last song on the album. My first thoughts on this were that it was probably a fan song. It's dancey, it feels like a party, but it's still, like, it's got this kind of earnestness to it, right? Like, this emotional depth. Like, we're dancing, but we're also, like, holding hands at the same time, you know? And, yeah, when I looked at the lyrics, yeah, the lyrics are beautiful. It's just really, really sweet. The vocals are great. Django pops off again, like, as per usual. They all sound wonderful. They've got some more gang vocals, love that. But the lyrics are just, like, super, super sweet. It really does feel like genuinely earnest, like a promise to each other and to the fans. Very sweet. As far as the production, it just feels like a party. Like, this song feels like a celebration. This feels like we've gotten through something together, or like we've reached the end of a journey, or maybe like a resting point in a journey, you know? Like, the image that I keep coming back to, especially on the chorus, is like a group like dancing and singing together around like a bonfire on a beach somewhere, you know? Like, that's the energy, is like party full of friends, we're all just happy to be alive, happy to be here, happy to be together, you know? And it's just very, very good. It's good vibes. The vibes are immaculate. So that is all I've got for you in this video. I've really enjoyed listening to this. I hope you've enjoyed coming along with me to listen to this album and do a little bit of a deeper dive on it. Um, I did react to music videos, dance practices, and live performances for this album, and that video will be coming out on Monday. So stick around for that if you're curious, subscribe if you like, leave a comment if you have thoughts. And then from here on, I'll be listening to Treasure Episode 3, One to All, next. Should have that up next Friday. So, if you're excited about that, I'll be doing that too. But yeah, thank you for being here. I hope you have a lovely day.